Hi Declan, Michael here in RT Sport. How are you?
Hey Michael, yeah, I'm good.
Good. Can you just tell me what Cliona Maloney has brought to the training session since you've been in? What has impressed you?
She's got her head down, she's worked hard. She's obviously had to learn new line-out calls, and then a couple of bits and pieces around how we're going to obviously attack against Wales this weekend. And she's just gone on and done her job, and it's been a good week, and yeah, we've enjoyed having her in.
Just one change to starting 15, it probably means you're quite pleased with most of what you saw against Italy, and it's really another chance to them to gel and produce a result this time. Yeah,
I think one change is probably a testament to the performance we put into those players, and I think we've looked back this week. We obviously reviewed on Monday as a group and sat down, and how do we take some of the lessons from that Italy game and make sure that we apply them against Wales. And I think we had a pretty decent first 20 minutes, probably just didn't come away with enough points for all the territory and the possession we had. So the good thing is we're creating those opportunities. It'd be far worse if we were trying to create them, and it's how can we convert one or two more of those to give ourselves momentum.
And just from the last game, Bavine was obviously double marked at times because they saw her as a danger. And when we look at the Irish men's setup for their wingers, they're kind of given license to roam. Is it too early in the team's development, or maybe Katie just learning international experience, that they can be given complete, license to come in off their line, get matchups against slower players in the midfield? Is that something you're hoping to see this weekend, or is it not on the cards?
No, look, that's definitely something we've spoke about. I think the days are gone of just hanging out on your wing, aren't they? I think you see the best wingers are constantly looking for work, and their ability to create. I think it's their connection with the 10 or the 9 or the playmaker to get them extra touches, because Babe and Katie are two of our quickest players. We want to get them on the ball as much as possible. So it's encouraging that in training and challenging them to get touches. There's a little bit of learning, and I know the wings have sat with Larissa this week, and Katie, we've got a young girl Chisholm in as well. So they're learning, and then how can they get those touches to influence the game more, because we know if we can get them on the ball, obviously they're incredibly dangerous, but then the likelihood of us creating line breaks or scoring obviously go through. But it's definitely a bit of a learning piece for those younger wingers.
Super, thanks Declan, best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi Declan, how are you?
Hey.
Sinead Farley, 42. Just on Cliona, how close was she to making the team, or was it just a case of kind of bleeding her in and continuing the transition by putting her in the bench?
We've obviously been keeping an eye on her. We obviously had an injury last week to Sarah Delaney, so then there was need to bring a hooker in, and it was an opportunity obviously to bring Cliona in, and then getting her into camp, and the first 2 days obviously getting her head around what the learning would be like for her from a, like I said, I've already said, from a line out and a attack and defence point of view. Then would she be in a good place to be involved, and she's definitely done that. So look, Neve's obviously playing incredibly well, so it's great to have two hookers that are obviously playing in the Women's Premiership in England, and probably at a very, very high standard from what I can see. A lot of the girls I've obviously working with are over there, and you can see the standard of the competition and the ability to come in and fit in pretty seamlessly is a testament to that competition.
Yeah, and then on Adele, what's she done this week to kind of work her way back into your plans?
I think working out what Tricky's done, and it's probably a little bit with Shannon, who's obviously on to get her first cap as well. I think both of them have trained the house down the last 3 weeks, and every training session they've put in what only I can describe as they are there they want the jersey. They're desperate to be involved, and I think that's the biggest thing that Adele's done. And I think that's the competition in the back row at the moment is phenomenal between Aoife Wafer, Britt, Adele, Shannon. I think they're just, we've got Bowlesy there as well. I think every week they're getting better and better. And I think that's what Adele's done to give herself an opportunity to be involved again. It's been brilliant to see, and I think if they can play half as well as they're training, we'll be in a good place.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for that.
Sarah, I see you if you want to come in there.
Hi there, good to speak to you. First of all, I just wanted to ask on Wales what you've made of them so far from their opening 2 performances, and any areas particularly that you think you might be able to attack them.
Obviously watched the 2 games. They obviously had a tough loss against Scotland, and I think if they had got their maul going a bit quicker in that game, they probably would have. They still obviously had an opportunity to win it at the end with the kick, but they probably would have given themselves, if they could have got that part. It's obviously a strong part of the game. If they could have got that going earlier, I think they probably would have come away with the win. And then obviously against England, I think they had a really, really good first 20. Unfortunately, England had a very, very good first 20 defensively and pretty much just repelled them. And I think that momentum then swung back England's way. I think you saw that with the intercept try. 1 minute Wales were on England's line attack, and the next minute they were obviously conceding 7 points. So I think Wales will be looking at both those games and go, there's opportunities to, if they can obviously get their maul going, and probably convert some of that momentum they're creating, then obviously they'll look to get a foothold in the game against us. Things we've seen, it's probably a little bit around our attack. Like I've said already, I think Italy, we created a lot of chances, but we obviously turned over a fair bit of ball as well, in terms of either in the contact area or on the ground. And I suppose the thing that we want to look after against, we know Wales are going to come after our breakdown. They're going to go pretty hard there, so it's not necessarily something I see as an opportunity to exploit, but I think the girls are very aware that that's an area that we've got to be hot on from minute one. They've got players in their back row and across the field who can turn the ball over pretty quick. So it'll almost be a battle of the breakdown. Can we keep hold of it and create momentum, obviously, while they try to hunt and turn our ball over.
And there's no disguising that across the Women's Six Nations this year, crowds are up. Nonetheless for you guys as well. How are your players reacting to playing in front of those bigger crowds week in, week out?
I think we obviously went away to France and we played in front of 15,000 people, and I think the girls were blown away by that experience. And I think then coming home last week to the RDS and the crowd and the support they got there, they've massively, they're just enjoying it. I think it's like you said, it's the crowds are up, and for a lot of the girls, it's something they've never experienced, and I suppose what it means is that it's not more pressure, but it's probably that actually they want to keep that momentum going in terms of performances, so that people want to come out and watch, which is a good thing. So yeah, I massively enjoyed last week, and I know the girls did too.
And just lastly from me, obviously Kleena coming in, can you just tell us a little bit about her personality around the team and how she's been received, who's been looking after her coming in and teaching her all those new calls and everything?
She's obviously playing at Exeter, so she knows Adele. I think they're housemates, so her and Adele are thick as thieves. So Adele's obviously been looking after her. She knows Sam. And obviously it's important for her and Sam to work together, being a hooker. So they've obviously spent some time together. So those three working together have been connecting and getting in front of things. And in terms of her personality, the interactions I've had with her, she's, like I said, she's just got her head down and sort of got on with it. So yeah, that's about. You'd probably have to ask the girls a bit more, but from my interactions, she likes getting around the corner. She likes carrying the ball. She likes making tackles. So the more she can do that, the happier I'll be.
Great, thank you. Go well.
Thank you.